Alrighty guys, we're back for Zero Rare Equipment, and this is a Final Fantasy Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. But first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. It was essentially to play Barret Wallace in a Zero Rare build, so that's what we're gonna do. Two of them packed into the top end here. 4 mana 4/4 legendary creature, of course. It has reach, and whenever Barret attacks, it deals damage equal to the number of equipped creatures you control to defending player. So that'll be a couple extra damage here or there. Maybe you'll hit him for 3 extra damage. That would be pretty good, right? But yeah, just a couple on the top end because it is a top end creature, right? Speaking of top end, we have Oxidda Finisher, 7 mana, 7/5. Luckily, it has affinity for equipment, so it does cost 1 less to cast for each equipment you control. It also has Trample too. Hopefully in this deck list, we can get this down to like 3 mana, and that'll really help the curve out then. So what about the equipment packed in? Well, we have Samurai's Katana, 3 mana, artifact equipment. The equip cost is really steep here at 5 total mana. Luckily, it has Job Select, so when it enters, create a 1/1 colorless hero creature token, then attach this to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample and haste and is a samurai in addition to its other types. Actually pretty cool, right? 3 mana, 3/3 trample haste essentially, and it's coming in on that equipment. So yeah, neat stuff. We have Bespoke Battlegarb, which is a 2 mana artifact equipment that we don't get to see very often. The equip cost is 2. Equipped creature gets +2/+0, but it does have celebration. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if 2 or more non-land permanents entered the battlefield under your control this turn, attach this equipment to up to 1 target creature you control. So Celebration is actually really easy to get to when you already have these equipments entering with the extra token. So yeah, kind of just like a free equipment at that point, right? Of course, you got to pay 2 mana to actually get it established onto the board first, but still. Then we have Hexgold Halberd. With the 4 Mirrodin, it's a very similar concept to Job Select, right? Coming in with that 2/2 Rebel. Then you attach this to it. During your turn, equipped creature has First Strike and Trample, and the equip cost is 2 and a red. Now, this isn't the final card that's actually entering with a creature. We actually have the Red Mage's equipment in here too. It has Job Select, comes in with that 1/1 hero. You attach this to it. Equipped creature has whenever you cast a non-creature spell. This creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, and is a wizard in addition to its other types. Actually, doesn't seem half bad, especially for a common, huh? So the equip cost is 3. More equipment, we have all 4 Lavaspur Boots. The haste on this is going to be pretty essential, especially for poor Barret, which is going to have a huge target on his back. Also, the Ward 1 is going to be pretty darn good too. So yeah, all 4 of these for a very good reason. We have Freya Crescent. This is a 1 red mana 1/1 legendary creature. All 4 of them packed in though for a very good reason, I would say. Now during your turn, Freya has flying. You can tap this, add a red mana, spend this mana only to cast an equipment spell or activate an equip ability. I would say Freya really brings the deck list together as it's given us just terrific ramp into over a third of the deck list. We have 22 equipments packed in, guys. So giving us great ramp in mono red, that seems excellent, even though it is legendary. I don't think the legendary is going to hold us up too often, because even Freya is going to have a target on their back. So more new equipment. We have all 4 Coral Swords. 1 red mana. The equip cost is only 1. It does have flash. When it enters, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains First Strike until end of turn, so that could be a pretty good combat trick. Equipped creature also gets +1/+0. Okay, cool stuff. And a couple Blacksmith's Talent too. We don't get to see this class very often. For just 1 red mana, when it enters, you create a colorless equipment artifact token named Sword. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and the equip cost is 2 on the sword. So this is another permanent that enters with another permanent. So again, hopefully getting the celebration on the Battlegarb onto one of your creatures, right? Now at level 2, for 2 and a red, at the beginning of combat on your turn, attach target equipment you control to up to 1 target creature you control. And at level 3 for 4 mana, during your turn, equipped creatures you control have double strike and haste. Not half bad, huh? 23 total mana because I do think yeah, I do think the costs of this deck is going to be much steeper than it looks, right? So hopefully 23 is actually enough. I don't think we want 24. We do have ways of doing some trading out too. So Demand Answers is in here as a 2 of. Also just helping us see more off the top, but kind of sort of just trading out, I would say. 2 mana instant speed as an additional cost to cast the spell, sacrifice an artifact, or discard a card, draw 2 cards. And we have plenty of artifacts that we wouldn't mind sacrificing after they're established on the board. Like, for example, just that extra sword that you generated or something. So we also are trying out Opera Love Song in here too, instead of something like Ren's Resolve. So 2 mana instant speed, you get to choose one of these. You can either exile the top 2 cards of your library, you may play those cards until your next end step, or you can have 1 or 2 target creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn. Yeah, I think it'll be decent as a 1 of in here. Okay, a ton of honorable mentions, and this is kind of important, guys. I didn't want to go the Heartfire hero route, because if we did, we probably also would have went the Monastery Swiftspear route. And if we did, then yes, we would have went the Monstrous Rage route. And I just feel like at that point, you might as well just make a completely different deck list, right? I really, really just wanted to lean into the equipment side of things here. Now, speaking of the equipment side of things, Mirian Banesplitter could be an excellent trade in or trade out for the Coral Sword, because this is actually just a common too. But the equip cost is much steeper on the Banesplitter, and you also don't have that potential for a good combat trick with the first strike either. So Banesplitter, though, definitely something to consider. I thought about Torch the Tower. I thought about Ren's Resolve for this one. Thought about throwing a Power Suit. The Bladegraft Aspirant here could have been pretty cool. How about Rebel Salvo? That's actually decent removal, but just opting for more equipments, more creatures, less removal, a little bit sketchy, but here it is in the honorable mentions at least. Also thought about Warrior Sword, probably too janky, funny enough, right? But yeah, we'll see, we'll see. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. Sometimes I fail. Either way, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? It should be pretty darn janky, but every time I say that, the deck list always surprises me. So we'll see, we'll see. All right, so we don't want to let the hands fool us either. We actually do kind of sort of have creatures in this hand with Halberd and Katana. I like it. We'll keep it. Yeah. It's not as early as I would like, and we don't have Freya, and I just feel like Freya's incredible and essential, but we'll see. Now, there is an option to play the Coral Sword just to get equipment on the board, but since we don't have Oxidda in hand, it's totally fine to just wait. Another Coral Sword is actually a little sketchy. We might trade one of those out for Demand Answers. Actually, that's another reason to play a Coral Sword just on the turn 1 there too, but starting Town Parlor. Okay, Katana. See if we can swing for 5 here. If it's like a Get Lost or something, they want to wait for the Katana to equip. Lightning Helix. Darn, guys. Darn. I would have much preferred a Get Lost since we have Demand Answers in hand. But also that life gain is going to be really important for the opponent. Okay, more mana is not bad. Since the Katana equips for 5, I'm not afraid to trade that out. Demand Answers is instant speed, but we could find something that we want to play this turn. I think I might still just keep it open at instant speed, though. I'll try for an extra damage here, and again, getting extra equipment onto the board is not bad in this deck list at all. Yeah, we might actually hit for 3. We do. Now, there's a chance we see, like, Freya off the 2, so maybe we do this now. I don't know if there's a lot of other reasons to actually wait at instant speed. Keeping the Katana. Yeah, we're going to sacrifice the Katana. There are ways in here to equip it for free, of course, and we're actually getting pretty close to the 5. Oh, guys, it's Jeskai, the starting town. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, crap, guys. That's really bad news. So I've been seeing a lot of Jeskai dragons, and I was completely fooled by the starting town. That's not good. We just got 2 for 1 from a dispelling exhale. Bro. Oh no. Okay, we are probably out of this one, huh? Hey, that's a good draw though. Okay, maybe we can do something with that. If it doesn't die. Oh crap, dude. Oh crap. So knowing what you're playing around is absolutely essential. If I would have waited for their turn, maybe we could have pulled it off if they tapped out or something. So they're gonna go ahead and get lost our hero. No, Lightning Helix is much, much better, huh? I just saw the get lost sitting on top there. Lightning Helix, they'll go back up to 19. Yeah, nothing we can do about the toughness on the red mage. Okay, I think... Oh, wow, that's actually pretty good. Alright, I'll stick around for a couple turns, guys. Feel free to skip ahead. This is heavily leaning towards the opponent. 99.9% certainty that the opponent is going to get there, but I want to see a couple more draws before I actually concede. Yeah, always feel free to skip ahead, guys. Down in the description, we have timestamps at the bottom of the video. If you mouse over, you can see the different chapters for the different games. Lavaspur Boots. Let's see if we can get that ward on the hero. We do. Swing? See if we can pull off a Coral Sword combat trick. They easily pay the ward. Oh no. Oh no, guys. Another Lightning Helix. Okay, I should concede so we can get as many matches in as possible. And it could, like, we don't want to wait another 4 turns for the Shiko to actually end us, right? Yeah. Yeah, the demand answers, if it would have actually gone through, restocking our hand a little bit, right? After the Katana was kind of useless on the board at that point. You got to be a little bit cautious about that, though, because of Oxidda being a 4 of in here. But maybe I should have sent a Coral Sword just in case we drawn into an Oxidda. Just having more equipment established. Speaking of Oxidda, yeah, there we go. I like this hand. Keeping this. Also, 23 mana felt like a lot, but I just feel like we're going to need so much mana in this deck list all the time. All right. Freya is excellent. Would have been much better turn 1, of course, but I'm going to go right into Halberd, and then turn 3 we'll go Halberd and the Freya. Halberd might not survive here. Could easily get popped by a Burst Lightning. Or the Rebel, I should say. It is, in fact, a Burst Lightning. I think I brought this up in the last video. This happens often, dude. Very, very often. If there's open red over there, you might as well just expect it to remove your first creature or whatever. Okay. Okay. Let's get the red mage down with the Freya. Pretty good, huh? Oxidda down to 4 mana now. And once we get the Halberd on the board, if we top deck mana and actually get to keep Freya around, be able to do Halberd and... No. Wait. Yeah. Halberd and the Finisher. If we see mana. Because Finisher will be 3. So Challenger already has trample. There's pretty much no reason to block that. Taking one less damage, but losing these creatures would be just terrible news. Upper Love Song's pretty good. This is instant speed removal, though. And we target with the Love Song. It would be nice to get excess damage through, but... Give me 1 second, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. I think I'd rather actually just establish the Halberd, get Oxidda down to a 3 next turn. We are boosting the Red Mage to a 3/1/2. And then still just keep Opera Love Song open for 2 then. Just to see extra off the top. It's a tough decision, for sure. We want to do this before combat because I plan on swinging. And yeah, Love Song open, or we could go Lavaspur Boots into the Halberd. Swing for... Yeah, we might as well do that. Yeah, if we're in danger either way. Like, we could easily die next turn, even if we keep blockers back, guys. So, yeah. It's fine. It's totally fine. It is what it is at that point. Maybe if we could have actually established the Finisher as a really good blocker, then maybe, but... Against Boros, Sheltered by Ghosts is everywhere anyway, so even if we established Finisher, no guarantees that it wouldn't have been a Sheltered by Ghosts. They find a Cavern off the top, but I think they already started with their mana for the turn, so... Okay, hey, that doesn't look like lethal damage on the board, guys. Now, again, if we see mana, if we can give haste to the Finisher off the Lavaspur Boots... Wait, we have Freya, guys. We do have Freya. We don't need the mana now. They're at 14 still. Well, we found the mana. I guess that's good. I guess that's good, right? They actually keep the Tersa back as a blocker, too. It's pretty brutal. It's kind of back and forth. Like, who's on the defense here? We both kind of are, especially since they kept the Light Shatterer. So, Finisher... Finisher's definitely the play. We just don't have open mana for the Love Song now. Trample there. We definitely want to give haste. Right, so I will swing with the Finisher. It's tempting to swing with the Freya. Bring him down to 5. But I'm going to save all the chump blockers back now. And just in case we have to full block into a trampling challenger or something, right? How do you guys feel about that? And we could have kept Finisher as a blocker. We can actually keep Freya, attach like Lavaspur, give a little boost to another creature, but I think this is okay. We keep it on the Finisher, keep Freya as a chump blocker. Oh dear, guys. Oh dear. Decisions matter. Sheltered by Ghosts. Nice. They probably just want to pick up the Hexgold Halberd's token, right? Probably. So this can be significant life gain that pulls them back into this. Maybe if I would have swung with Freya down to 5, they'd go back up to 10. Maybe. So we just have 2 Halberds chilling down here now. Opera Love Song boosting the Finisher to 10 with the trample is kind of what I'm getting at there if I would have swung with Freya last turn. So, oh, Monstrous Rage is what they saw off the top, guys. Oh no, we're forced into a block, but it does not matter. Crap. Yeah, so they wanted the backswing. If I would have kept Finisher, it wouldn't have really mattered. Finisher would have been a great blocker here, but then we would have lost our best bet for victory too. So they actually find a Shard Mage's Rescue too. So yeah, Finisher would have been a terrific block into the Challenger. They go back up to 14 there from the lifelink too. So even if we would have found a way to survive and we lost the Oxidda, if we would have found another Oxidda off the top, Maybe, and maybe we give it haste. Still not going to be enough, though. We wouldn't have had enough mana to play the Opera Love Song either, so... I don't know, man. I mean, it kind of... We're kind of doing the thing. We're losing, but we're kind of doing the thing. Does that make sense? As far as 0 rares go, seems to be curving out properly and everything for the most part. In that last game, too, actual Freya on turn 1 would have been much better, but... All right, I'm going to keep this. It's a little slow, but... Can't ask for too much. Dark Slick Shores. Oh, nice. I'm definitely going to get the Blacksmith's talent down over the Lavaspur Boots. The sword's much better to pop to the demand answers anyways, but... Oh, nice draws, dude. Wow. Oh, no. No, opponent. You get away from my cards. Oh, maybe the Katanas will actually land then. Okay, negate number 2, guys. And negate hits most of this deck list. Knock up. Yeah, next turn we'll go Lavaspur Boots and Katana, and hopefully they don't have Spell Pierce in there. Because they still got 1 mana open. Grab 2 to the hand. Alright, stay on task, I would say. Katana lands, that's good news. Get the Lavaspur Boots down before combat too, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Oh, Rona's Vortex. Oh no, guys. Oh no. There you go, stock up here. We're in danger, dude. What a lineup from the opponent so far. Everything we've done has been picked apart cleanly. This is another one where you can see why I'm opting for all 4 Oxidda finishers, right? For sure, for sure. Blacksmith's talent would be pretty good, but getting Red Mage down and then trying for Lavaspur Boots and Coral Sword. Oh no. Negate number 3, guys. I can't believe it, man. Okay, I'm going to keep Coral Sword in hand, and while they're tapped out, go demand answers, sacrifice the sword. Since Blacksmith's talent is on the board, we're going to be able to free equip the Katana anyways, so... but popping the sword makes the Oxidda a little bit too expensive. So, good news, we found a Halberd. Bad news, we don't know if it's going to land, dude. The opponent is hitting their mark. We'll see. I might flash the Coral Sword down on their turn. No combat trick or anything. We just need more equipment on the board now. Whoa. Artifact or creature. Dude, we're in danger, bro. What is the opponent playing? I'm just gonna play the Coral Sword while they're tapped out, dude, because what on earth else are we gonna do while their mana's open? Oh no, a Demir Tempo, especially with the Crate Shark here on the top. Yep, here comes the fishies. Here comes the fishies, guys. Definitely a tempo build, but not a lot of early game plan from the opponent outside of counter spells. So we could see extra off the top here with the Love Song. If we take the turn for Blacksmith's talent, we could have like a free equip with Samurai's Katana for the finisher, but we die on the backswing. So I think we just try an Oxidda Finisher for 4 mana. And guys, I'm not feeling very confident that it's going to land. It's on the board. No, Finisher. Get down, bro. Oh, no. Oh, no. Dude, I cannot believe how picked apart the opponent's deck list is really just destroying our soul right now. Actually, incredibly terrifying, right? Because this is just not unheard of. Like more people could do this successfully, probably, right? Either way, sure, we'll give haste to the finisher, I guess, and ward is not terrible. But we have to save a blocker now, and there's like almost, they go Mirex. So even if we block Great Shark, no, we're going to be forced into a block this turn. So what does this mean for us then? Are we dead? If they, well, they have 7 mana. I guess the finisher could be bounced. Blue Sun's Twilight. X is 7. Pay the extra 1. They take the finisher, copy the finisher, full swing. Guys, what just happened? The opponent's deck list was actually really scary business, man. Okay. Hey, what I've learned is I'm actually building confidence with the deck list a little bit, right? Any deck list that you took against that last opponent could have easily been picked apart. Imagine if we were playing Izzet Quarry Steelcutter and they had triple negate and I guess even their shark, it doesn't have to pick up artifacts, right? It did in that scenario, but it could pick up like Vivi and whatnot too. Any of our creatures. I feel like any deck list we took against that, it would have been cleanly picked apart from the opponent. Or I should say most deck lists. Hey, speaking of Izzet Quarry Steelcutter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Alright, we can establish Lavaspur Boots without any issues here. Quarry Steelcutter, right on time. Hopefully their turn 3 isn't too deadly. Here's our turn 2. Could take the time for some setup with the Battlegarb. But we probably just get the red mage down and then consider Katana next turn. And it does boost the red mage. It's just a lot slower than Izzet Quarry Steelcutter's third turn. It's actually going to be a shock for our hero, unfortunately, guys, which is pretty brutal. All right, Burst Lightning to our face. Power up the Quarry Steelcutter and swing for 5 down to 11. We could keep the Samurai Katana back as a blocker, but there's just no guarantee that it's even going to be able to block, right? But we'll see, we'll see. We're definitely the ones on defense, though, so... Bolt Wave. Ow. And then... Oh, guys. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. Taking 5. I guess we could die here, right? Oh no, guys. Oh no. This poor 0 rare deck list getting absolutely obliterated. Hey, it's gonna happen sometimes, man. And I was expecting Jank here, and before this too, I was getting a lot of victories. Not with this deck list. I'm just saying I was overdue for some losses too. So I'm scared. Send help. Send help, guys. Oh man. I believe in the deck list. I'm pretty sure we can get there. I'm pretty sure. Alright, Lavaspur Boots for turn 1. City of Mako. They go Orzhov here. Elisil Core, maybe a Sephiroth build or something. Alright. We'll go for the red mage. Bartolome, all right. Good curve so far from the opponent. We'll see if they get a 1-drop here too. I guess a cut down would work well for them. They go for a swing. I'm going to take the 2 for sure. All right, Barret off the top. Get the other red mage down. We don't need haste for that. What we need is a good combat trick here. They do go for the block, and we are definitely going for the Coral Sword, but no trample on the red mage is a little bit brutal when there's so much extra damage potential here. Like, actually pushing 6 damage through that turn could have been really good. But Oxidda already down to 3 mana. Bartolome. They're taking a look at the Lavaspur Boots, just chilling over there. They got 2 mana open. They're wondering if they can successfully swing here. They do swing with Elisilcor. We take it. Yeah, just keeping the Bartolome as a chump blocker since we didn't have Monstrous Rage last turn is what they're thinking. Barret can start actually slipping some damage through, but Oxidda Finisher with haste is way better. We'll see if it actually gets equipped here. It does. That's good news, guys. All right, full swing. Looks like it's going to be Bart into our 2-1. We get 9 through here. Yeah, mana off the top could be good to give haste to Barret, too. But we don't necessarily need mana off the top. We go down to 14. They got their 5th mana. Bartolome number 3. Okay. Okay. They go back up to 12 here. And 2 cards left. 3 mana open. I'm surprised we haven't seen more creatures from the opponent. Usually these deck lists are full of 1-drops. They go Corrupted Conviction to draw some cards. We go down to 13. So now if they can put a couple extra 1-drops on the board or something. We don't find the mana, but Samurai's Katana is pretty good, right? I'd say so. It boosts the red mage. And then we can go ahead and actually attach the Coral Sword for the last mana. And since the Samurai's Katana already has trample too, their best block is into the red mage, but then we have 12 going through elsewhere. So their last 2 mana has to be some removal or something, right? Remove the 4/3 and they're still in this. They go for the 3/1. Down to 0. Well, good game, opponent. It's one of those things, man. At that point, we were overdue for a victory. Geez. Well, we did the thing, and I don't know if we should end on a high note or if we should try to do the thing again. Let's go one more. Let's go one more. We'll see. We'll see what we can pull off here, huh? Yeah, just with how brutal the matches were and how picked apart we were getting, it was only a matter of time, but then all of a sudden the opponent just didn't find any of their cards, and that's how we win? You know what I mean? It's not like the greatest way to actually win. Freya, let's actually see Freya do something turn 1 here. I feel like that could be really essential to pull off a lot more in this build. In general. Like, think about Freya even in the last game, too. Even though we won, Freya could have really sped things up for us. Alright. We will go ahead and pause the recording until the opponent shows up. Oh, the opponent has arrived. I'm over here being impatient. I'm sorry, opponent. I'm sorry, buddy. I just had nothing else to say about the hand until we actually got stuff on the board. Now, A 1-drop equipment would be pretty good because we could take the turn for some setup, get the Battle Garb down, get the 1-mana equipment down. If you find Oxidda, though, that's also pretty decent. I'm still going to take the turn for some setup, I think. We'll have 4 next turn. Maybe we actually... I'll start with the swing. Maybe they remove Freya. They don't. Let's go ahead and get Red Mage down. And then double down on Battle Garb next turn, maybe with the Freya. Second mana. Gonna be Ember Heart Challenger. Okay. So it was a really slow start for mono red, which is great news. We don't have haste on the Red Mage. But still, getting that down and established. No, we can still get that down next turn for... Well... Yeah, doubling down on Battle Garb is more damage right now. So that's what we should do. It's actually 9 damage for the turn, guys, since they tapped out. Pretty cool. That's pretty neat, man. Now, these are both of the Battle Garbs in the deck list, though, so we're not always going to see both of them in our hand, but if we didn't, then we would have got the other Red Mage down. Oxidda is down to 4 now, too. It'll be a matter of time till it's down to 3. They do find some removal for our 5/1, but we get to keep all the equipment. The equip cost on the Red Mage is pretty steep at 3. Battle Garb will be able to go right back onto the Freya. Mana off the top probably just means Finisher. We do find the mana off the top. Maybe we don't go Finisher. Maybe we push as much damage through as possible. 3, pay the... Oh, we can't do that. Okay. Get 5 through for the turn if they don't remove the Freya. Okay. Get Oxidda down to 1. 3, I mean. 1 colorless is what my brain was thinking there, for sure. Yeah, we still had 2 open to just equip the Battle Garb anyways. It's too bad we couldn't have equipped the Red Mage to the Freya first. Alright, let's see if they remove the Freya, huh? Okay, so far, so good. Hey, we get that 5 through, guys. Alright, the opponent should be on the run here, I would say. You know, I probably should have equipped Battle Garb to the 1/1 in case we wanted to block, maybe trade into the Challenger, but keeping this around is probably a little better. They do go Lightning Strike, pop the Freya. Still get to keep the equipment, though, so Oxidda is still pretty cheap. Looks like they are going to keep the Challenger. More mana is actually pretty bad, I would say. Yeah, we don't need more mana right now. We can get the Finisher down. No way to give it haste yet. Equip this wide, right? I'm pretty sure we just hold. I think we hold for the turn. The Finisher should be pretty hard for mono red to pop. They do have 5 mana, though. I suppose we do still find ways for them to do 5 damage to things. Screaming Nemesis is terrifying. We definitely don't want to block that. Still got 2 mana open. They do go for a full swing here, too. We're just going to take it. Yeah, keeping Nemesis as a blocker for the Finisher. Now, only the Trample would have rolled through. Oh, Witchstalker Frenzy. All right. All right, we take 6 and everything relies on the Red Mage here. Actually, we just equipped the other Battle Garb. There we go. All right, let's go, guys. Mono Red versus Mono Red. Now, they had a really slow start, man. So, Did we have to get lucky for these last 2 victories? Probably. Just based on how all the games went and everything. Now, what's funny about this deck list, let's go talk about it again here real quick at the end of the video. 0 rare equipment. What's interesting about this? Oh man, okay, well the Barret Wallace was actually the main build around, but we only got 2 on the top end, so we didn't really get to see it today. But also, there were just like, it was back and forth with how much mana was actually on the board and how much mana did we actually want on the board. Like some games we were like, oh, mana off the top, that would be pretty good. And other games, we were just like, we got enough mana. Okay, that's enough mana. That's just Magic the Gathering sometimes, right? Or is it how I put the deck list together too? Because there's moments where Oxidda Finisher is expensive and you want the 4th mana for it. So you're begging for mana. But then there's other games where you don't see as much mana. Instead, you see a lot more of your equipments, and now Oxidda Finisher's much cheaper. And at that point, you just really want haste. But Lavaspur Boots is the only way to give haste in here outside of the Blacksmith talent, which getting this to level 3 is almost impossible. So especially if you are spending extra mana on it, there are so many ways for opponents to remove enchantments. So once this becomes a deadly enough enchantment, they'll probably just opt to remove the talent. So I feel like we didn't see enough Freya today, but there were some games where it did feel pretty good. Again, it's one of those things where the games where we saw Freya, we already had enough mana anyways, or we were 1 mana short from doing a really cool thing, even with the ramp. It's just like a constant back and forth, and it could have easily just been how I put the curve together, guys. And again, I did this rearranging because we're hoping that Finisher's around 3 mana, so you can see how the curve actually looks here. I like the double Bespoke Battlegarbs. I could actually see more of these easily. I'm not a big fan of the Opera Love Song for this deck list in particular. I think I'd go up the 3rd Demand Answers. And the 3rd Battlegarb, I'd probably drop the Blacksmith's talent down to 1, just because it is really hard to actually pull off. Guys, I'm actually going to make this change right now too, because we're dropping 2 uncommons for 2 commons, which makes the deck list a little bit more budget friendly as well. Now, that being said, it's not necessarily budget friendly. It is 0 rare. However, there is a lot of uncommons. Blacksmith's talent, Coral Sword, Freya, Lavaspur Boots, the Halberd, and the Samurai's Katana, the Finisher, and the Barret are all uncommons, and uncommon wildcards drain very fast, much faster than you would expect. So with this many uncommons, we can't necessarily call it budget. Obviously, it's more budget friendly than something just full of mythics and whatnot. But, you know, calling it 0 rare, not calling it budget for a reason. That gives us 10 total commons with the Red Mage, Demand Answers, and the Battlegarb. And just 23 mountains. So, of course, the mana base is very, very budget friendly with just mountains. Now, dropping those 2 uncommons, going up the couple commons, yeah, that helps a little bit, I suppose, right? Let's rearrange it to look at the deck list again. What do you guys think? Did we get unnecessarily picked apart in a lot of those matches? Let me know. Let me know for sure down in the comments. Kind of wish that we could have pulled off a victory where it was actually like, it actually felt like the opponent was doing their thing too. Like, we can't just always rely on getting victories when the opponents get unlucky. You know what I mean? And a lot of those games, in the honorable mentions, guys, there is an excellent piece of spot removal, Rebel Salvo. I opted to just not have this in here because I really wanted to just do the aggro thing. But Rebel Salvo really could have helped out. Where it doesn't help out is against mono red, because Screaming Nemesis, you don't want to do 5 damage to that. What you want to do is you need to somehow outpace mono red like we did in that last game, which isn't going to be entirely unheard of, I suppose, if you do get a couple red mages on the board or something like that. Red mage is essentially a very budget version of, oh crap, dude, I can't remember. Oh no, I can't remember the card, guys. What's wrong with Slick Shot Show Off? Yeah, wow, I can't believe I forgot this one. A very budget-friendly version of Slick Shot Show Off. But it doesn't have flying and it doesn't have haste either. But it's not a rare, so yeah. And it's an equipment, so it fits the whole equipment theme too. I like this. It's actually really cool. It's really neat. What else, guys? What else? Samurai's Katana. Just a pretty good rate for 3 mana, 3/3 trample haste. But you're also tacking the equipment onto the board to work well with the finisher. And boy, I mean, we could just, in each of those games, we could really see why all 4 finishers are in here. The deck list really knows how to keep artifact enchantments. I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry, it's clearly time for a cat nap, huh? Let me tell you. Artifact equipment in here, right? It's really easy to keep those on the board and just keep dropping them every single turn. 23 now, by the way, since we went up the Battlegarb and dropped the Blacksmith talent. But of course, don't forget, the Blacksmith talent was also coming in with the sword anyway, so it's kind of sort of the same thing. At that point, then, we have 24 cards packed in that's coming in with equipment. So really, really neat. Outside of that, guys, it's going to be pretty janky. And if you do end up playing with this, you probably just want to play normal play mode. You don't want to try ranking up with this by any means. And it is one of those things, too, where is it fun? Sure, sure. But also, it's pretty fun to win sometimes as well, right? So you have to take that into consideration when building your jank deck list. And I'm not 100% convinced that this is the jank deck list for the maximum amount of fun, right? I think that we can actually still go a budget route, find a different budget janky deck list that is a little bit more consistent. And at that point too, with that extra consistency, a little bit more fun as well. But I might be wrong too. If we played another 5 games, maybe we could win 3 out of the 5. And then all of a sudden, I might completely change my tone about the deck list too. There was like a middle in the middle of the video somewhere, I actually built up confidence with it because there's just no way that it could be doing that bad, right? But no, there is a way, I think. And so after that middle hurdle, I actually started losing confidence in the deck list again. There's a little bit back and forth in those games, more testing required for sure, even though it's budget friendly. Go ahead, put it on the do not craft list. And also, guys, if you want to see an upgraded version of mono red equipment, then let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll bump that up the list. I don't know exactly when I would want to do that. A big part of the appeal of this deck list is 0 rares, not necessarily just mono red equipment, right? But there's definitely mono red equipment or a path that you can take with mono red equipment that might actually make this a little bit more successful. Like, for example, there are actually just a couple new cards that are rares that would be terrific in here. This Robin, Bull of Ayla Migo, something like that. And then the Furion, too, would be really good. And then if we go that route, we could consider Corey Steelcutter route, too. Have a whole bunch of 1-drops, keep the Coral Swords and whatnot as well. Chainsaw would be pretty decent as well. So, yeah, a lot of rare equipment that could really boost the power level of this deck list. Dire Flail is actually pretty decent too, right? +2/+0 for equip for 1 is actually not terrible, I would say. And then eventually you can craft it. Well, probably not. Probably not. Coral Sword's probably a little better thanks to the first strike combat trick that it comes with, right? And it already comes pre-equipped to one of your creatures too, so. All right, guys, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.